Hello my friends, it's Sheree. How is everyone doing today? Welcome to my channel, Turquoise Dreaming. I'm so glad you're here. I'm doing a little using scraps and using what I have video today. And so I have some ideas for you. I'm going to make some things too. But I want to show you what I've been working on. And this is uh, I don't know what it is about making simple things, but it's just so fun to, first of all, you can get them done really quickly. And second, you're using your stuff and it's kind of like making something out of nothing, or, just using what you have. And, if you go to thrifting, then you're, finding a new use for things and repurposing, recycling, all that kind of stuff. And I just get a big kick out of it. So let me show you what I have in this box. I have the pillar of flowers. Let me grab it. I didn't think about that you might not know what I'm talking about. But I have had this for a long time now. Prima flowers. This is called a pillar. Prima flowers. Somewhere it's called a pillar of flowers, I think. But anyway, I got it on Amazon. I think I have it linked in my Amazon affiliates, but it's like paper, this whole thing is, and it was full up until now. I have them in here, but I have used some, and I have added some flowers in here from the Dollar Tree. The sunflowers are from Dollar Tree, but they're really cool, and you can layer them and do all kinds of things with them, make clusters, decorate your journal pockets, whatever you want, journal cards, anything and everything, really. But when I was using some stickers recently and I was looking through my sticker drawers, I saw these little, now I've used them all up. I probably have some more in there, I'll have to look. But I used one package up, and they're these little kind of stickers that are what are they called? Half beads or something. Sticker beads. I don't know what they're called exactly. But anyway, they're sticker. They're sticky on the back, and they are stickers. So I looked in there. I thought, wouldn't those be cute? Because I have either layered these flowers, like layered them like this, and put a little button in the middle, or a little gem, or whatever, just things like that. But I thought this would be cute, just to do a bunch of flowers and use up those little beads, half bead stickers, or whatever they're called, and just have these ready to, when I'm decorating a journal, just pop a couple in there, right? So even these two look good next to each other right here that I pulled out. So that's what I did. This is can be a mobile craft, or I did it when I was watching TV. I just had the flowers, these little sticker beads, and some glue. I did add a little bit of, at first I was using Fabri-Tac, but it was kind of like overkill. It was, I needed a smaller little bead, and I didn't want it to ooze out or anything. So then I started using my my art glitter glue, and that was better because I could make a smaller bead and then put this on top. And you could probably do it without the glue, but I just wanted to make sure they stayed on there. So I did all of these. A lot. All sizes, shapes, and sizes. And I kind of tried to, I tried not to match, but then I did try to match some of them, so I'm not going to lie to you. I did try to match the bead to the flower sometimes, and sometimes I didn't. I just was like, it's really fun just to, if you ever see things that don't match, really, they just have like, like this doesn't necessarily match, but doesn't it look cute? That's a little orangish red sticker bead there in the middle. I guess I'm going to call them sticker beads, but this one has a little green one. So I wanted to show you this idea in case you have the same thing in your craft room or craft area, or in your craft supplies. They've been sitting for a while. You could do something like this. And so, yeah, I did, this is what it took to use up that one. I got these at Dollar Tree, these little sticker beads, a few, 3 or 4, a year, maybe 5 years ago, I don't know. But when I used to see them, they used to be, I used to see the sticker beads online, like, I don't know where, like I would see people using them, and then I would go to look for them, but they kind of like cost more than I wanted to pay. And then one time I saw them at Dollar Tree, and I was like, oh my goodness. And that's when Dollar Tree was still $1, so I got a few of them. I have used them over the years quite a bit, but then I had those still in my stash. So I'll just show you how cute these are. And I did put one in the large dolls journal that I'm working on. That one I got a little bit too much glue on there. That's probably when I was still using Fabri-Tac. Wonder if it'll peel off. Oh yeah, there it goes. Okay. Yep. Okay, that worked. And I didn't pull off the bead. Okay, so as I put these back in here, I'll show you. I mean, look at this. This is the type, all these little flowers came with it. The only flowers with that pillar, the only flowers I added were the sunflowers from Dollar Tree. So all these little kind of different shapes and sizes and colors of flowers are what, oh, that one doesn't have one. Oh, it does. It's on the other side. Hello. Isn't that pretty? Aren't those pretty? So, yeah, I'm glad I did it. And, you know, I'm glad I put 2 and 2 together and decided to do this. So let me just, as I put them back in here, I'll try to give you a quick little glance at them. And you can see. And yeah. So now these can be glued down. 1, 2, 3 together, whatever. On whatever. I need a little, I mean, look how cute that is. Anything. I have one on a page in the Dolls Journal, a bigger one. It's really cute. Oh, look at that one. The flowers themselves are cute, and then you add that little bead in the middle. And so, yeah. And I could still layer these if I wanted, because I still have all of these without beads on them, you know what I mean? So I could put this on top of something in here and still do my layering of flowers, because it is fun to, you know, put, like, say, one of these little small flowers, and that one has a little tiny, you know, little bead sticker on it, and then put that under, say this didn't have one, a bead sticker on it, put it, you know, layer it like that. Isn't that cute? Sorry, I'm coughing all of a sudden. Anyway, let's get these back in here. It's going to take all day if I show you every one, because there's quite a lot, isn't there? Yeah, and this will help me to use these flowers more too, because, you know, then I won't have to think about it as much as, you know, layering the flowers. How am I going to layer these? You know, what colors do I want to put together? All that kind of thing. These are all ready to go. So that's just one idea I wanted to pass along. First of all, using things that you have, and second, something to do, a little kind of TV craft, mobile craft, whatever. You only have a few things that you have to take along, and I had this little box in my stash empty. I have a few things in my closet that are containers that that are empty, so when I need something to put something in, I can look in there and find something. I had these in another container, and then they outgrew it, so I had to go looking for something bigger, and I found this box in my closet. So there you go. Box full of fun flowers. Okay, so then the other thing that I had fun doing this week, now this isn't a TV craft or anything, this is just something I wanted to do, and so I took, I was getting ready, well, what I did, you know how I take my strips, my cut-off strips, and I sew them together like this. Here's a bunch. Well, here is a bunch. Here's my stash of those. And I use them, and I put some in, you know, a few in each order, but as you can see, they multiply quickly. And so that's how I keep up with my strips. I don't have any of these little small strips in my scrap box, because I take them to work, and that's what I do on my lunch break a lot of times, is glue these strips together. So this past week I had a few strips that I glued together at work, and I was going to come home, brought them home to sew them together like these. And I thought, oh, you know, I would like to sew them onto some index cards. I don't know why I thought of that. I don't know if I saw something or, you know, just, well, one thing is I'm working on the doll journal. I wanted to put some of these in there, you know, a couple or whatever, and I thought, wouldn't it be fun, and I had the strips right there by my sewing machine. I thought, wouldn't it be fun to just sew those on some index cards? So that's what I did. The strips were already glued together. They weren't sewn through yet, because I just brought them home, and I just took some index cards out and started sewing them on here. So that was a lot of fun. I did these all in one night because I wanted to finish using up those strips that I just glued together and brought home. So some of them I cut, you know, to fit. Some of them were too long or whatever. But and I didn't try to match the card or anything like that. I just put it down, and this is how they turned out. And I did try to use a lot of white ones too, because, you know, white is more plain than the colors. But I think this is a really cool idea to, first of all, use up some of your paper scraps, and second of all, do something fun with your index cards instead of just putting a plain index card, even if it's a color. Instead of just putting a plain index card into your journal, why not add a little something to it? I mean, this is so easy, and I think they're so cute. I don't know why I love these so much. Let me know what you think. I mean, it's such a simple thing, but I think they're so adorable. So I did those, and then I thought, well, I would really like to do some with fabric. So I got out the little ones, and I did some of these. I have a whole drawer. I don't know if I've ever shown it to you, but I've mentioned it. A drawer or two, one or two drawers full of these fabric strips that are, I had made too many strips for some tassels, and I figured I would make more tassels with these same strips. So I just put them all in this couple little drawers I have here in my craft room, and I never went back and made more tassels out of those strips. I don't know why, I just haven't. I use other things, ribbons and this, that, and the other, beads, you know what I mean? But I just haven't gone back to these exact strips. So I did take some things, I just pulled some things out, in no particular rhyme or reason why, just a few strips. And you know, I thought they were pretty too. Like I love daisies and sunflowers, so I only had one strip of this fabric here and there, so I pulled that out because it's so cool. I love it. But I had to try it on. I had to sew this one on. This is two pieces, a little bit of eyelet trim and the daisy fabric sewn onto a blue card. And then I had to try one on a yellow. I was like, I have to put some of this on yellow because of the yellow center and the daisies there. I thought that would be super cute. So that's two pieces, and this is just one piece sewn on here. These are just a straight stitch through, as you can see. You can't get any more simple than that, right? And then on some of them, this is a little plaid, but this one is you probably can't even see it because this is kind of a dark fabric, but it's the same thread, and it's zigzag stitch. This one too, I used two pieces here with the fabric. So that's all the fabric, little ones I did, and I thought I want to try, you know, I knew I had these, and I was like, I want to try some of these bigger index cards. And so, you know, I was able to use longer strips. So there's that sunflower again with that eyelet trim. This is just a pretty piece of strip fabric that I had in that drawer. Here's another one. See, this one was too big, but I didn't cut it off. I just left the ends. I figure if I'll put this in a journal one day, and then if somebody doesn't like that hanging off the end, they can cut it off. But I thought, you know, it's just, it's like I wanted it to be a certain way, but I wanted it to be kind of messy and just almost like I threw it together, but, you know, I kind of didn't throw it together. But I wanted it to be kind of not perfect looking, I guess. Perfectly imperfect, as they say. But this is a really neat one. I thought if you're really into tactile, these all are different fabrics. So if you're into like touching things, this is a soft flannel right here. So I thought, wouldn't that be neat to you know, if you're like to touch things, you would be able to touch all of these different fabrics and get a kick out of that, right? So here's another one, plaid with some eyelet. So, you know, I want to make more of these, but I wanted to also mention, if you've already, because I know I have some subscribers that I've shown my, you know, stash of these sewn together strips. I'm just going to take some out right out of the front randomly, right here. And I thought, you know, it could be just as cool, because the thing about these is when you put them on something, it looks like, you know, you could fool somebody and say, I mean, I'm not saying lie to somebody. I'm just saying it looks like it's sewn on, right? But you really just sewed through the strip. Then you put it down. Of course, if they look in the back, they'll see it when it's not sewn through. But anyway, it gives you that, what I'm trying to say, I'm not trying to say lie to people. I'm trying to say it gives you the stitching without stitching on the card. If you've already made some of these sewn together strips, you can just glue them on, and there you have the same look, you know, the same exact same look technically, but you didn't sew it on there, you glued it on. So I wanted to show you how that looks and show you how you can just, like, this is a long card, so hey, let's glue this one down. I kind of want to cut off this extra string here, because if I was putting on a page, or I don't doing something else with it, I might leave it on there, but I don't want it on here for this, so I'm going to cut that off. And then, of course, I'm going to use Fabri-Tac on here because, you know, when you're trying to glue down stitching, it's a little, you know, you got to get the glue to kind of ooze into that. Let me see. So there's some words I don't know what these words are from. Maybe a book. Did you discover how to name a number using the percent sign? I guess it's from a math book or something. But it's a little strip of some kind of book page or something I put into this one. So I want the glue right, kind of right, just by coincidence, I want it right down here at the bottom where the stitching is. So, you know, if you're going to do, especially if you're going to put glue over, you know, glue down stitching, you need something that's going to kind of ooze through the stitching and hold it on there. Okay, so there's one, our first one with the, and I don't remember, have I done this before? I don't know. I don't remember. You get to a point where you've done so many things that you don't remember what you've done, especially when you've done it for so many years, right? But anyway, that's cool. You would think you would remember, but you don't. It's just that's life, right? You think you're going to remember things, and you do remember a lot of things, but some things you don't. You just can't remember everything. Because I have a really good memory, but, you know, I guess I can't remember everything. Okay, so let me keep these strips out here that we pulled out, because I don't want to pull, I mean, I don't mind pulling more out. I just wanted to kind of show you how I'm just going to work with whatever I pulled out here. I'm not going to get picky or anything. Okay, so this is a shorter one. Let's do this. So this is what I did with the ones I just showed you, even though they weren't sewn through, but they were glued together. So whenever I needed a shorter one, I just like looked at it, and I didn't try to make it the full length. Like this one is the full length. It happens to be, but see how they're different sizes on here. They're not all see, there's a smaller one, and you know, just whatever size I had that would fit on there, like this one. Usually I try to just cut them in half so I don't end up with some little tiny piece. So, and I didn't, well, yeah, I would cut it in half. And then if I didn't like, say, this sticking out here like that, I do like it to be a straight cut. And then if I didn't like this sticking out, maybe I would cut that off too. Like, you don't have to do that, but if you don't like that sticking out, you could leave it on. You could cut off whatever, you know, whatever you like. And then I kind of decided which way I wanted it to go, if it could go either way. So let's do it like that. So this is another thing you can do on the road or watching TV. You know, you've already got these made, maybe. And you don't have to sew on them. You can just glue them. Just make sure they're glued together. I use, because I know I'm going to sew through them, I just use glue stick on them so I can, because I didn't used to glue them together. I just went to my sewing machine and put the 3 strips together and put them through my sewing machine, and then I started gluing them together because I decided that was a little easier than putting them together. Then they're all ready to go, and I can just go, you know, sew them faster than putting them together at my sewing machine. So that's why I just use glue stick to go, you know, get them together now, and then I can zip them through my sewing machine quickly. But yeah, that's just as cute as the ones that I sewed on. So, but I definitely want to do some more of these fabric ones because I have a lot of fabric strips. Okay, so let's see. We did a blue one, and I'll show you how I'm going to try not to be picky on what I put on each color. We'll take one of each here. Let's see. We did a blue one. So here's this one here, the other half of that. This one I'll leave this half just to show you what it looks like and why you don't really, you know, like I said, I wanted it to look imperfect. I wanted it to look almost kind of messy. You know what I mean? And kind of junky, like junk journaling. And I think that's fun. And it's a quick little thing that you can get done quickly too. You know, to have that finished, that satisfaction of finishing something. If you're kind of stuck in a rut, in a long project, maybe you want to stop and do some of these because you can get them done quickly. Okay, so see, that looks just as cute whether you, and I didn't even up my, I didn't even up my edge there. It was this one I evened up. Remember I said I wanted it straight. This one's a little slanted. This little thing's sticking out over there. But look, they both look cute. So we're going to add that to our pile there. And then we did the yellow one, we did a blue one. Okay, let's take our next strip. To conquer my need to match, I'm going to just take the next one here that was on top of the pile and put them on here, these two. And I'm not going to even up my edges. I'm not going to do anything else but that. Just cut it to fit because it was too long and glue it down. So these are journaling cards, just in case I didn't mention that. These are meant to be journaling cards. So you can stick them in a pocket, in a belly band, in an envelope, wherever tuck spots, whatever kind of tuck spots you have in your journals. You can write on them. You can glue them down on a page. You could write on it, but there is, you know, space to write on both sides, so. But you could write on it and glue it down on a page, whichever. And it can go in this way into a tuck spot. It can go in this way, you know, any which way. Okay, so those two are done. Now, we've got, we haven't done any big ones yet, have we? Oh yeah, we did one. Let's do a couple more big ones, because these are fun too. I like to put these in pockets too if I have a bigger journal, or I like to, ooh, that looks cool. Look how much that adds from that to that. And it looks so junk journaling, and so I love that strip. What is that made out of? That's a couple of branding strips put together and another piece of scrapbook paper there. Yeah. But these, I was saying, I put them in pockets, or like if I have a binder journal, I can put holes, like say, let me finish it first. Let me put this down. Wait, oops, I was going to say, did I put enough glue on there? Up to the edges, okay. Okay, so, yeah, are the edges down? Yeah, I think they are. But in a binder journal, I like to take a big card like this and, you know, punch holes and make it a page. So, and then when you have that on there, that's already ready to go. I already have a decoration on there. So let's do another one. Let's see what we have. See, now that one did take up, that was a long one. I didn't cut it, and it took up the most of the space there across the top. So this is a shorter one, but it's still much longer than these. These three by five. Yeah, 3x5. These are, I don't know how big are these? You guys, I'm sure you all have seen them, but they're 5 by, what is it? Is it 7? Oh, it's 5x8. 5x8. This one is a cool one. Whoops, just dropped my ruler. This is a cool one. It's two pieces. It's a piece of cardstock, a piece of scrapbook paper, and this is a piece of fabric here. So let's glue this one down. Let's see how do we want it. I shouldn't even think about that either. I should just put glue on here and glue it down. Oh, and one thing about the fabric ones, I was thinking when I was doing those, I was noticing, let me show you what I was noticing. That is pretty. That adds, it's so simple, but it adds so much, and I think it's so cool looking. I love it. But no, on the fabric ones, I was noticing how, like this one I sewed on, and see I sewed it right there on the edge of the top of the card, and then it has a little space under there. I mean, that could be a tuck spot, but I was thinking, say you have a page, you could have this little fabric sticking out of the pocket or of the belly band or something. I think that's kind of neat, and it's also acts as a little pull, like this one, you know, has this. If you have it sticking over the top, it acts as a little pull. So I thought that was cool too. I love it. All right, we have enough for 3 big ones, or if we want to cut them up. I think I'm going to leave a string on this time. Let's see how we like that. I can always cut it off later. And I said I wasn't going to be picky about how I put it down, so I'm not going to turn it around and figure it out. I'm just going to put it down here. But yeah, I could, I think I could get addicted to doing this. I mean, I could use up quite a lot of my stash there of these sewn together strips, because this is so, I'm going to pull that up again a little bit so it's a little bit covering up, at least covering up the edge there. There it is. See, I'm trying to get it in the middle, but if it's not perfect, I'm not going to worry about it, like if it's not exactly the same on both sides. And there's that string, and I'm going to try to leave it. It's kind of like, I don't know if I like it, and I can always cut it off, and if I end up putting it in a journal like that, if somebody else didn't like it, they could cut it off too. So, all right, I've got 2 more that we pulled out, so let's go ahead and use these. These are pretty. I really love just putting these strips together randomly and seeing how they turn out. And I never don't like them. You know what I mean? I don't put them together and go, ooh, I don't like that. No, I never don't like them. I always like them. There you go. Well, let me know what you think too. Am I crazy, or do you like them as much as I do, or am I just kind of in my own little world here? My own little craft world. Okay, here's another string. I'll leave that one too. I'll try to leave it. Like if it were on a page, I think I would like it. You know what I mean? I would not hesitate. But I'm not used to putting these on index cards. So it's a little, I think I put them on pockets and pages and like flip outs and things, but I've never put them, I don't think I've ever done this before. I don't know, I might have. And this is not going to come unraveled, I don't think, or anything. I mean, this is not going to come unraveled. We've got this glued down. Yeah, that's not going to, I really don't like that though. This one is not together. See how it's kind of, I'm making excuses, I think. See, this one is not ravelly. It's just threads. This one's kind of ravelly looking. I don't know. It's more... I don't like it. I'm going to have to cut this one off. I can't help myself. Oh, so much better. Don't you agree? Don't you agree? Yes, I'm a little crazy. Past my bedtime. I'm just having too much... I've been staying up late crafting this week. I don't know what's wrong with me. I'm usually in bed early, and I just been like crafting away because this is so much fun. So if you haven't tried it, if you think it looks fun, try it, and I might have gotten you, if you try it, you might like it so much I might have gotten you addicted to it, and you'll be staying up late too. Let me know. Let me know if you get addicted to this, and yeah, so look at all this goodness. Just so cool. These we did, and these I did before the video, and then we did a couple of these together. I'm separated because those are fabric, and these are, oops, that one goes over there with the fabric, and these are paper, you know, paper strips. So I have them kind of separated like that. So yep, I want to do lots more of these. I hope I will use them. I don't know. I mean, I thought about putting a set in my shop. You know, making, you know, I could put a set of big ones and a set of the 3x5s, but let me know if anybody would be interested in something like that. Because, you know, I mean, it's a simple thing, but the problem with doing that is, as always, the price. Because, you know, it might be a simple thing, but you did buy the index cards, you bought the papers, you bought the thread, and then you spent time. So, yeah, that's the problem with selling things like this. It's usually not worth it because you can't really charge enough for for your materials and your time to make that worth selling. So, anyway, I guess the best way to do it would just be put them in journals and in goodie packs with the journals, and that will be, you know, and it could be a free thank you that I put with my journal. So I'll probably just do stuff like that with these. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and try it out. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you in my next video.